Hey, Fandom Nation, welcome to another episode of Courtside Vision, where we talk about all things basketball, whether it's NBA or NCAA. A big weekend of NBA basketball as the regular season just came to an end. I'm here with Fandom Nation team member Matthew, and we're going to talk about the NBA play-in tournament that starts tomorrow. Matthew, how you doing today?
Doing great today. How are you? It's a crazy weekend of basketball.
Yeah, crazy weekend. I think that Warriors and Clippers game to kind of cap off the regular season was one for the books.
Yeah.
Sad to see the Warriors in the play-in, but I think the seedings for the play-in are going to be really well. So today we'll talk about the West and East play-in tournament. So we'll start off with the West. We'll start with you, Matthew, as far as our predictions for the West play-in and who's going to come out as the 7th seed and the 8th seed. So we'll start off with the 7th seed, Warriors versus the 8th seed Memphis. Who do you have winning that one to face off the Houston Rockets in the playoffs?
So I think that playing game is going to be crazy. I mean, the matchup itself, their records itself, they probably shouldn't even be in the playing game. I think they're both should be in the playoffs, but based off of what happened in all the seedings, the Warriors have been playing really well. Have developed a small ball game that's been working very well with
is good, and I think like the better lineups in the NBA. So yeah, I agree with you.
with Draymond at the 5. I mean, they're a fast-paced team, and if Curry's playing the way he's playing and Jimmy's getting them to the line and basically doing what he's been doing ever since he joined the Warriors, I think the Warriors take the 7th seed, which will lead them to the game against the Rockets, which is a great matchup for them. What do you think about that 7-8 game, though?
Yeah, I think I got to go the same way. I think Memphis doesn't have enough firepower for the Warriors, but I do think it'll be a good game. But I just think you look at how the Warriors played yesterday against the Clippers. Like if they have that where Jimmy and Curry is going for 30, you have Draymond playing really well, and then the supporting cast with Pods and like Kuminga and Moody.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
Kuminga didn't play yesterday, which was a huge deal for a lot of people. But if he's playing in the playing game, I think it will change so much.
Yeah, so I think if like everyone's rolling, like I think Golden State could win that easily, and I think they want to win so they can have that matchup against the Rockets instead of trying to go for an 8 seed versus the OKC. So I got to go with the Warriors there. I am
scared about the bigs, though. I think the size of the Grizzlies are huge with Zach Edey and Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, but I mean you can't count out Curry and Jimmy.
Yeah,
so I got to go Warriors for 7-8, and then I got Memphis losing, and of course playing either against the winner of 9-10. So we both got the Warriors. So as far as the other game in the play-in tournament, we have the 9 Sacramento Kings versus the 10th seed Dallas Mavericks. Who do you have winning that matchup?
I think I'm going to have to go with the Kings. I think with Kyrie out for the season for the Mavs, their season has just been tumbling ever since the trade deadline. AD gets injured back in the first game he plays for them, and then although he's playing very well, I just think Sabonis is going to be a tough matchup for him. He already struggled when he was on the Lakers when he played against Sabonis. I think he had a hard time winning against the Kings. I know that, but I think the Kings take this. They have too many stars with Zach LaVine and Sabonis, and they're just going to keep rolling. But who do you have for that 9-10 game?
So I'm actually going to go with the Mavs. I think the Mavs will kind of upset the Kings. I think AD, I know he's back and healthy. And I do think the Mavs still have a pretty decent lineup. I don't think they have a lineup that could contend really well in the playoffs. But against the Kings, they still have Spencer Dinwiddie. Najee Marshall's been playing really well and stuff. Gafford's back. And then you have AD, of course. And I know, like, people, especially being a Laker fan, like, the matchups between Sabonis and AD have always been, like, kind of scary because, in my opinion, I think Sabonis has always got, like, the better end of it. But I think I just feel like the Mavs are going to pull off an upset and beat them. And I think AD in that matchup between Sabonis, I think AD will kind of take over this game and kind of lead the Mavs to win that game and play either Memphis or Golden State. So I got the Mavs.
Yeah. And then segueing into, it would be 8-9 for me, the Grizzlies and the Kings.
Yeah.
I got to go with the Grizzlies. I think even though they just lost their coach, I think Ja's going to go crazy to get them in the playoffs.
He's gonna throw that
Um,
grenade.
I know that celebration is crazy. Right after he got a warning. Um, but I think the Grizzlies take this one. They're gonna go get in the playoffs like they deserve to.
Yeah.
So I got the Warriors and the Grizzlies just staying at 7 and 8,
Okay, so Warriors, Houston would be your matchup in the playoffs, then
and
Grizzlies
then
and OKC.
OKC. Yep.
Okay. For me, since I had Grizzlies losing and then Mavs winning, so that matchup between the Mavs and Grizzlies, I gotta go with the Mavs. I don't know. I just feel like they're gonna have like a Cinderella play-in tournament, beat the Grizzlies. I don't think if they do make the playoffs and play OKC, I think they don't.
No,
I
yeah.
think they don't go past. I'll give them 5 games. I think OKC could beat them in 5, but I gotta go Mavs over the Grizzlies. I don't know. I just feel like AD has kind of something to prove. And it's not like the Mavs have a bad team. I think Spencer Dinwiddie's pretty good. I think Najee Marshall's pretty good. Max Christie, like they have the tools to kind of make upsets between the Kings and like the
Yeah.
Warriors, the Grizzlies. So I have them going the 8th seed for me. So for me, Warriors Houston would be the matchup in the playoffs, and then Mavs and OKC.
I
So
think you have a little AD bias in all of this.
I just think he's gonna do well, and I think the Mavs team still can do something as far as making the playoffs and making that fan base happy in some way.
Yes.
So go. Excuse me. So just went over the West. Now we're going on the other side of the NBA, which is the East. I'll start with you again. The first matchup we have is the 7 seed Magic hosting the 8 seed Atlanta Hawks. With that matchup, who do you have winning that?
I think I got to go with the Hawks. I mean, even though the Hawks lost Jalen Johnson, which was a huge loss, I mean, I think they were rolling with Jalen Johnson. They would have a chance to be a sneaky lower rated or lowish seed and then in the playoffs. But I still think they beat the Magic. Magic not having Jalen Suggs is going to be huge for them to guard Trey.
Yeah.
And then I think Trey plays great no matter what. But Reece Shea has been playing pretty good this back half of the season,
Yeah.
making his case for Rookie of the Year. But I think I have to go with the Hawks taking the 7 seed.
Yeah.
How about you?
I gotta go same thing. I think Atlanta is like a sneaky playoff contender in my opinion. I think you can't doubt Trey. I think Trey in the playoffs is like really good. I
Hmm.
do like Magic. I think losing, like you said, Jalen Suggs has been hard for them. But I know Paolo and Franz, like they're offensive juggernauts for them. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I think having Dyson Daniels, Big O, and just like that supporting cast, like for the Atlanta Hawks, like getting Karis LeVert and Niang and
Yeah.
stuff. I think those help them really well, and I think they just have more experience in the playoffs too. So I think they pull out a win against the Magic and take the 7 seed. So we both got the Hawks as a 7 seed. They would play the Celtics, which would be a tough matchup for either
Hmm.
one of them in the playoffs. But yeah,
Yeah.
so both of us got the Hawks, and then have the Orlando Magic as the loser of the 7-8. So we'll go to the 9-10 game. So we have the 9 Chicago Bulls hosting the 10th seed Miami Heat. Who do you have winning that game?
I'm going to go Heat purely off of coaching. I think Spoelstra he's a great coach. And then with Bam and Tyler Hero, they're still a great duo. And obviously up and coming because they haven't had a lot of experience with Jimmy being there the whole time. But Tyler had kind of his breakout season, I would say, in terms of getting to the All-Star game and everything like that. So I think the Heat will take the 9-10 game over the Bulls because I just think the Bulls don't have enough playoff experience. And then star power-wise, they don't have a true star. I mean, they're going to really test Josh Giddey and see where he's at as a star. And then moving to it would be the Magic and the Heat. I would go with the Heat for mine. Again, I'm going to have the Heat going as the 8 seed, playing against the Cavs as the 1 seed, only because, again, coaching, and I think Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, they have some playoff experience, and they're going to push through to beat the Magic.
Yeah. Okay, so for my 9-10 game for the play-in tournament, I'm going Chicago. I know people don't have Chicago kind of like on their eyesights as far as winning this game because you have Miami, like you have Coach Eric Spoelstra, of course, like an
Mhm.
amazing coach, and then you have Bam and Tyler Hero, two all stars and stuff that I think are still really good. And even though they lose Jimmy, which I think is
Mhm.
a big loss for them as far as like you know how he is in the playoffs and
Yeah.
teams to like the finals and all that. But I think they're still really good. But I don't know. I feel like Kobe White and Josh Giddey and like the offense for Chicago has just been rolling a bit, and I just think yeah, like they are a sleeper team that could upset the Heat, even though they're a higher seed. So I have Chicago winning that, and then so for me that third game for the play-in tournament would be Chicago and Magic. I gotta go
Mhm.
Magic, of course, for me. So I got Magic becoming the eighth seed. I just think when it comes down to it, if like Chicago would play the Magic, I just think that duo of Paolo and Franz is just too
Yeah.
much for Chicago. So I got to go Magic for that. So for me, I have the eighth seed would just flop between the Hawks and the Magic. So I have Magic going
Yeah.
against Cleveland, and then I have the Hawks going against Boston. And I think that would be a better matchup for the Magic if they do get the eighth seed against Cleveland. I think
They play
realistically,
well against the Cavs. I think they have this season.
yeah. I mean, like, and I personally, I just feel like even though Cleveland is number one seed, I think everyone kind of knows like
Yeah.
Boston.
Boston's the true one seed. Yeah.
Boston's a true one seed, and in my opinion, the best team in the East, and so I think it'll be good for Magic. But and then for you, you got the Hawks as the seventh seed as well,
And the
against
Heat
the
as the
Celtics,
eighth
and then
seed.
the Heat as the eighth seed versus Cleveland. So,
Yes.
yep,
And
those
I
are
think it's a little hard. I mean, if you look at the records between the playing teams on the East and the West, it's like completely. I
different.
mean, yeah, it's bad. It's
Yeah.
bad.
I think it's gonna be super exciting for the West because I think in my opinion, I
Yeah.
think it's way more competitive, and you guys could see like through the standings like how close it was, like with Minnesota, with
The
Denver.
Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets could have
Yeah,
been gone from like the 4 seed to like the 8 seed, 7 seed, just like how the Warriors did. But
yeah, like yeah, Memphis like 2 weeks ago was a third seed, and now they're the
yeah,
eighth. So I think the West playoffs is gonna be something to really keep an eye on because I think it's super stacked. I think there's like a good amount of contenders that could make it out of the
yeah,
West. Well, compared to the East, I feel like those playing teams compared to the teams that are already in the playoffs, like there is like a big gap. So I think with the seeding, you kind of have a feeling of like either Cleveland or Boston kind of making it.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that's for another video.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys again for tuning in to Courtside Vision. Next week, we will have more insights on the NBA playoffs and also the WNBA draft. So keep on the look for that and tune into that when that comes out. But thank you guys again for joining and listening to Courtside Vision and our play-in tournament predictions. And we'll see you guys another time.
Deuces.